You're watching WAFF 48 News at noon on your side.
Good afternoon and welcome in. I'm Gina Benitez. Today is a beautiful February day and we could see an even bigger warm up later this week. Let's check in with 48 First Alert forecaster Jada Russell. And Jada, today just so nice outside and it's going to get warmer as we near the end of the week here.
Absolutely. We're starting our week out in the 60s for now, and you can see a lot of us have made our way to it. It's beautiful sunshine outside for a perfect day off for President's Day. So if you haven't made any plans to get outside, make sure you do so. A lot of us are in those 60s right about now. Still waiting for the Shoals and Fayetteville to warm up to 60, but most of us should hit around 62 or so the next hour. High is expected to be closer to 66 for the day. Plenty of sunshine, clear skies as we go into the rest of your afternoon, even into the evening. We're starting to see those 50s back in the forecast later on this evening. And then as we get into those overnight hours, that's when we'll start to see those 40s in the forecast, cooling things off to start off your Tuesday, getting back into the swing of work. What we're expecting over the next couple of days, like Gina mentioned, a warm up is coming. We'll be around 76 degrees by Thursday. That's almost 20 degrees warmer than our average. So I'll go over the expected rain chances from these 2 days as well, coming up in just a moment.
Well, today marks 1 year since tornadoes hit North Alabama. The tornado that hit Tuscumbia damaged dozens of homes, businesses, and a school. Thankfully, no one was seriously hurt. There were several other tornadoes throughout the Shoals that day as well. Join us for our evening newscast for an update on how the community has rebuilt following that storm. Well, this weekend, you can get some severe weather staples a bit cheaper than normal. Many items will be sales tax exempt. Those include flashlights, batteries, first aid kits, phone chargers, and even fire extinguishers. The sales tax holiday weekend runs from Friday through Sunday. Well, this President's Day, leaders in Decatur have their sights set on a bigger celebration for another holiday. Earlier this morning, the Decatur City Council voted unanimously to fund a fireworks show for the Spirit of America Festival. The event has been a big part of Decatur summers for almost 60 years now. However, attendance dropped after city leaders stopped funding the festivities in 2014. This morning, Decatur City Council members voted unanimously to pay for that 15-minute fireworks show. The city will spend nearly $20,000 for that presentation. The Parks and Recreation Director says this is part of an effort to help reboot the Spirit of America ahead of the country's 250th birthday. Well, happening tonight, the Muscle Shoals City Council will get its first look at an internal audit the mayor says lays out significant financial challenges. The city's latest audit is set to be presented tonight. Mayor Hudson says the city is bracing for a possible IRS audit while also dealing with higher costs for a proposed athletic complex. 48 News crews will be at tonight's meeting to give you an update on the audit findings. Well, Huntsville police are currently looking for the person who shot into an Airbnb overnight. This happened at a home on Roland Road early this morning. That's just off Bob Wallace and Triana Boulevard. Huntsville police say no one in that home was hurt. Police tell us the person who shot into the Airbnb may have sped off before authorities arrived. Franklin County deputies have arrested the man they say stole from a dead man. The Franklin County Sheriff's Office says Charles Burney stole more than $500 from Charles Wyatt King back in December. King died at a drug house in Russellville. Burney is charged with theft, tampering with evidence, and abuse of a corpse. That's all according to our media partners at the Times Daily. Well, state troopers have identified the Limestone County woman who died in a Sunday wreck. Troopers say Kathy Hamilton of Elkmont was killed after her pickup went off the road, hit a fence, and then careened into a pond in Gadsden. 2 other people were injured. Well, starting today, the Morgan County Courthouse will be closed for the next few weeks. Crews are doing some electrical work at the building. You can still visit department offices that are normally located at the courthouse, but those offices have changed locations. You can find a full list of the new office locations with this story on our website, WAFF.com. Turning to news around Alabama now, Mobile police are investigating a deadly shooting in downtown just hours after thousands of people had been in the area for Mardi Gras celebrations. Police say 1 man is dead and multiple others are injured.
This had nothing to do with Mardi Gras, but this was probably a Mardi Gras crowd spillover. but we had probably between 45 and 55 officers here on foot and on horseback. We had teams right in the exact area where it happened, when it happened, so it was flooded with law enforcement. It was just something that happened and we had to react to. We saturated the area with officers, so we had a good plan, and we'll continue to work that plan as we go. As you can you're still surrounded by a lot of officers here at this time of the morning.
Police have detained one person of interest in connection with this shooting, though officers say that person has not been named a suspect. A dream vacation in Europe turned into a nightmare for two Alabama women and their daughters. A man threatened to kill them on a train in Belgium. Amanda Hardy and Courtney Sucher say they were waiting on a train in Brussels when a man came out of a bathroom and approached them.
He asked, do you like ice? And we did not respond to that. He then pulled out a knife. Our estimation is about 18 inches long or so. And he threw down a jacket and a scarf on the ground and said, F ice. I can shoot too. I shoot faster than Americans.
The women ran off the train, which was still parked at the station. They say they went to the U.S. Embassy for help before being told it was closed on weekends. They also say a local police officer did not believe their story. Well, $300 million is going toward improving the roads near the University of Alabama. Tuscaloosa city leaders received the money from AlDOT. Roads that will undergo reconstruction include Julia Tutwiler Drive and Campus Drive. One Alabama lawmaker is sharing his new proposal for a state lottery bill. This is something that's been talked about a lot over the years. Representative Philip Ensler filed the Clean Lottery Act last week. He says it would help fund schools and hospitals in our state. If approved, you, the voter, would get the chance to vote on a statewide lottery. Ensler says he tried to make the proposal as simple as possible.
There are just so many details and it becomes more complex. So separating out the lottery, it's the gaming and gambling aspect is a little bit more complex, and there's a lot more deliberation around who should get the licenses and where the casino should be. With a lottery, it's much more straightforward of should we have it or should we not.
Ensler's proposal still has to be considered by both the House and Senate. On this day, 58 years ago, the first 911 call was made in America. That call in 1968 was made on a red rotary dial phone from the Haleyville mayor's office. We've seen 911 calls evolve over the years with more highly advanced systems to now include text to 911 and enhanced location services. Well, still to come, an update on a devastating fire on the square in Fayetteville and a fundraiser you need to know about. Plus an update on flu cases in Alabama and what doctors say you need to know to stay safe. Now to a 48 safety alert. Flu cases are on the rise across our area. This comes after Madison County schools had to close on Friday because so many students were sick. The CDC says Alabama currently has a very high flu level risk. Only a handful of states have a higher spread rate right now. Take a look at this chart here. The green line represents flu cases in Alabama. There was a major spike right after Christmas and then a steep drop. You see it there, but you can also see cases are rising again at the end of that graph.
It's been a hard week for everyone, but we're resilient and we are strong, and Fayetteville will rebuild.
Well, it's been just over a week since a massive fire destroyed several businesses and apartments in downtown Fayetteville. Right now, locals are coming together and still working to move forward. 4 businesses were destroyed in that fire. 3 Fayetteville firefighters were also hurt. Thankfully, they're all okay. Some business owners have spent the past week raising money to help others who need it during this difficult time.
So many people are willing to come and help and do whatever we can to get these businesses back on their feet. I think you only get that in a small community.
Now, you do have a chance to help with the rebuilding process. There will be a barbecue fundraiser happening this Thursday. More details on that event can be found with this story on our website, WAFF.com. Well, check this out. Hawaii's Kilauea volcano spewed lava into the sky Sunday night. It lasted more than 9 hours. The U.S. Geological Survey says this was one of the volcano's most eruptive episodes of the year. The National Weather Service issued an ashfall advisory for east and southeast areas of the Big Island. That warning has since been lifted.
Now, your first alert weather forecast with Jada Russell.
Pretty clear skies here in Huntsville and around the valley. We're expecting to see a lot of that cloud cover stay farther south and then even to the west of us. We're expecting to see a beautiful day out of our Monday, especially for folks that are out for President's Day, enjoying the city. Make sure you're making some plans because as you can see, it's beautiful sunshine. Still busy on Parkway as folks make their way in and out of the city. Temperatures right now finally hitting that 60-degree mark across the board. We do have a few cities that are straggling behind, but we are expecting to warm up nicely. Highs for the day expected to be around 65 to 66 degrees. Nice and comfortable going into the rest of today. And the expectation is that once we get into these 60s, we'll hold it around there for the next couple of hours. And then as we get into the evening hours, that's when we'll start to see those 50s back in the forecast, and we'll drop off into some 40s to start off our Tuesday morning. Plenty of sunshine for today, but the next couple of days, we're expecting to see some cloud cover building in as well. As we go into the overnight hours tonight, you'll notice a slight chance of cloud cover building in, but we'll start to see overcast conditions in the next couple of days. It's much warmer than normal too. Our temperatures this week expected to peak into the 70s, a couple of days seeing some mid 70s out there. So keep that in mind as you make your plans this week. It's going to be a touch warmer than what we're used to. You also want to think about the fact, I know my gardeners are itching to get back outside and tend to their plants, but don't let this get you ahead of the curve. We do typically see another blast of cold air, still some Arctic air around Canada as well. So if that decides to push farther south, we could see another cold snap. Thankfully, not expecting it to see as much of a drop as we saw back in January, but still an opportunity for temperatures to drop into some 50s and even some 40s going into the next couple of weeks here. So here's what we're looking at the next few days. We've got these 60s around as we go into today and even into Tuesday. We'll keep some upper end 60s. It's a touch cooler than expected, but as we get to Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, even Saturday, rain chances in and around each of those days. We're expecting to see some evening showers that will carry over into your Friday. That'll bring some scattered showers by that point, keeping these mid to low in 70s around. Then we'll see some 60s by the weekend. That shower chance on Saturday will drop us into the 50s, bringing us back to some average feeling weather by the start of next week.
Well, next and new in just a minute, a trial starting today for a man whose son is accused of going on a killing spree at a Georgia school. Plus, the new emotional plea from Savannah Guthrie as investigators work to find her missing mother.
It is never too late to do the right thing. And we are here. We believe. And we believe in the essential goodness of every human being.
A new plea now from Today's Show host Savannah Guthrie about her missing mother. This comes as the search for Nancy Guthrie is now in its third week. Catherine Patterson from our sister station in Tucson gives us an update on the investigation.
We've seen dozens of different unverified theories popping up on social media of what happened to Nancy Guthrie when she was taken from her bed 2 weeks ago. A possible kidnapping, a ransom note, an inside job. But one source close to the case says investigators think it could have been a burglary gone wrong. The FBI today confirmed they are testing what may turn out to be a key piece of evidence. Video of Nancy Guthrie's front door the night she was taken shows the suspect armed with a weapon, wearing a mask, a black backpack, and black gloves. The FBI says they collected 16 different gloves this past week, but one of them that they found just 2 miles away from Nancy's home seems to match. The glove was sent to a lab in Florida for DNA testing, and the profile will be checked against the FBI's national database. That's not the only DNA test being done. A law enforcement source says testing is underway on this Range Rover. The SUV was pulled over Friday night at a fast food restaurant at First and River. The driver, a man Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos confirms is a person of interest in Guthrie's abduction, was detained, questioned, and released, but the vehicle was towed for processing.
And the Pima County Sheriff confirms they're sifting through more than 30,000 tips they've received in the 2 weeks since Guthrie was apparently abducted. Thousands of those coming after the release of that doorbell camera video and photos of the suspect. Well, happening today in Georgia, the trial for a man whose teenage son is charged in a deadly mass shooting at a school will get underway. Opening statements started this morning in Colin Gray's trial. Prosecutors say he gave his son access to a gun and ammunition despite multiple warning signs. Colt Gray is accused of using that weapon to kill 4 people at Appalachia High School in 2024. Colin Gray is on trial for more than 24 criminal counts. There are similar cases around the country where prosecutors are trying to hold parents responsible after their children are accused in deadly shootings. The Department of Homeland Security has now run out of funding. Federal employees, including the TSA and FEMA, are on the job without pay. ICE and Border Patrol at the center of this dispute. Alabama Senator Katie Britt is placing the blame on Democrats.
If they were to cooperate with us, it keeps law enforcement safe and it keeps communities safe. Look, they have created this environment by their rhetoric and their failed policies. What they're really holding out for is hoping that we'll cement the failed Biden border policies of the past, and it's not going to happen.
Congress is out until next week, but they could come back to vote if there's a deal. Well, former President Obama wants to make it clear that he has never seen an alien. Now, that comes after comments he made on a podcast went viral over the weekend. The former president answered a question about aliens by saying they're real, but I haven't seen them. Social media went crazy, and now Obama is clarifying. He said what he meant was that he personally believes the odds are good that there are aliens out there somewhere. He reiterated that he never saw any evidence they've made contact with us during his presidency.
Taking a final look at your forecast. Temperatures for the day expecting to be in those mid-60s. We'll warm it up just a touch by Tuesday. You'll notice midweek we get into those mid-70s, but that comes with some rain chances and overcast skies. So today it looks like it's going to be the sunniest day of the week. Looking ahead to Friday and even into your weekend, expecting to see some scattered showers out of your Friday and Saturday. Those will knock our temperatures back into the 60s for Saturday and then knock us back just again to get us into some average feeling weather for this time of year. Those 50s will come back by Sunday. Should have some dry weather going into the end of the weekend and then starting next work week. We will start to see another warm up, but hopefully we'll get another chance to see some average feeling weather outdoors as we get ready to close out this month. Can you believe it? It's like another week or two.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all your time for now. We'll see you back here online at 3 p.m. for another Fast Cast, and then on air on the news at 4 p.m. where we typically find you. Have a good one.
Thank you.